Amazing. Looks so good. So excited. Hey y'all, welcome back to Shack from Scratch. On today's episode, we are making sweet potato buns, like sweet potato burger buns, with a homemade salmon patty. And I actually don't have a lot of time to make this. It's 3:24 p.m. and I'm supposed to go to a movie at 6:15. So I'm not gonna try to yap as much, but I can't guarantee it. But yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into it. I don't even need that much sweet potato, like only 1/4. So I've already hit my 1K subscribers. I am so happy and excited. By the time this goes up, I don't know how many I'll be at. Hopefully like 5K. Yeah, like the support on YouTube is definitely unmatched. So if you're watching and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I don't think I'm gonna have time to like yap as much today about like what I really want to share with you guys, but I will be definitely soon. Something that like God revealed to me when it comes to what I'll be doing on this channel. I was definitely like unsure about like what direction I wanted to go. I feel so much better, you know, like it's one thing for God to tell you to do something, but like you don't have the full directions. Sometimes you have to just like get started and then he'll give you the rest of the direction along the way. Then start walking down this path. Okay, now when I start walking, do I take a right? Do I take a left? There's a mountain right there. Like, should I go around that mountain? But you know, to the left, to the right. Like, it's just like you have no full direction. Use this thing. All right. We don't got all day. So we are going to, I done turn the stove on, y'all. When you are baking, always use unsalted butter so that you don't mess up the recipe. But yeah, I'm going to boil these and then I'm going to get started with the baking part. Not drink whole milk, but I'm going to use it for this recipe. So I'm going to warm this up. I just throw it right in the microwave. So I'm gonna, oops. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon, and then I need 1/4. All right, so 1/2 plus 1/4. Just throw this on here while it's rising and get the rest of my stuff. So I need 1 tablespoon of melted butter. So I'm going to melt the butter right in the same jar. Tablespoon. These things always be off. So I'm going to melt this in the microwave. I need 1/2 of a large egg. I should have already had my egg out. I like to use room temperature eggs as well when I am baking, but I forgot I'm on a time limit, so I didn't have time to take this out for room temperature. So since it's 1/2 of a large egg, it's about 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to beat it up as crazy. I'm just going to beat the egg and then just do 2 tablespoons of this. So I'm actually going to just put the sugar in here with the butter. So it's 1. I wish I can just like shake an egg and then it'll get like stirred up while it's inside the shell. Am I the only one? So we are going to mix our egg. Now, why is it acting like it don't want to go in here? So there's 1. So the recipe said a large egg. This is probably like a medium egg. That's the reason why there's still way more than half left over. So I'm just gonna stir these together. Because this is what if I was like baking a cake or just baking in general, I would mix these ingredients typically first together anyways before adding it in with the flour. And then I'm gonna save this egg for if I need to put this on top of the dough. Okay, so it is about done boiling. I'm in a rush. Okay. I only need 1/4. So I'm gonna take some of these out. I don't need to do that much work right now anyway. All right. I wish I had a potato masher, but a fork works. If you feel like, oh, I don't have, you know, a KitchenAid stand, neither do I. Until somebody buys me one, or unless KitchenAid want to sponsor me. But you don't need no fancy tools. I want to mash just as much as possible because it's supposed to be a puree. Ooh, I got a trick. I think I'm going to try to put this in the blender. So what I'm going to do is, so it can be like actually pureed and not like just mashed, I'm going to mix egg and butter and all that in here. It's not going to be, I'm going to try to get every drop. Actually, I'm going to mix it around in there. And then I'm just going to blend it together so it can be like actually pureed. This is foamy. Oh! Where's a man when you need him? Chopsticks. Chopsticks really do the thing. I'm telling y'all, I just be in here. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever seems like it'll work. You don't need no fancy stuff. Now, I'm gonna stir these together. And then I need to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is a whole teaspoon, but I'm just gonna eyeball it for a 1/2. 1 cup of flour. I'm gonna use bread flour. Now, you can use regular flour as well. I'm just gonna use bread flour because I just bought some. I'm using the King Arthur brand. I always use King Arthur brand for my flour because it's unbleached, unprocessed. If I don't get bread flour, I'll keep regular flour. If you had to choose, if you can only afford one, get regular King Arthur flour. Just regular flour is fine. I personally always like to use a metal measuring cup when I'm measuring the flour. I just personally feel like it's more accurate and it's just easier to use versus my foldable measuring cups. Now this is supposed to be for 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna do 1 cup first to start with. And then honestly, I'm just gonna add like a little bit more extra in there because it's gonna be a little sticky. Once it gets to like where I want it to be, I'm going to put it directly on this cutting board. And I'm gonna put some flour down. Always put flour down first. So I'm just gonna go in and just keep adding a little bit of flour. You want the dough to be tacky, not sticky, but when it's like too sticky like this, that's not good. So again, I'm just going in, add a little bit more flour as I need to, little by little. I would rather be using my scraping board, but I don't feel like stopping to wash my hands to go get it out the drawer. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the oven with the oven light on to let it rise. That is the trick. If you know, you know. You see I'm adding like just a tiny bit of flour at a time right now. Because I really don't want to add more, but it's just a tad bit too sticky. Just a tad bit. Okay, that's good enough. Jeez. Some olive oil spray. Here goes the ball. And cover this up into the oven with the oven light on. All right, I'm gonna clean this up and then we're gonna start on the salmon patties. So I would usually put peppers and onions, but I don't have any more peppers right now, so I'm I'm just going to put red onion into my salmon burgers along with breadcrumbs and egg. Y'all, I just found out my friend, she already bought the movie tickets. And I told y'all it starts at 6:15. And when I just checked how far it was, it said 28 minutes. That's with no traffic. If you know Atlanta, you know that probably means a lot longer. Trick to not having your eyes burning is to rinse off the onion in cold water. I don't got time for all the fancy cutting today, so I'm about to just do what I do. I like it finally diced. Especially like when it's going in like a burger or something. I've seen some recipes use dill. I wouldn't mind using it, but I just don't have any. I'm gonna get my bowl out while I'm waiting for my salmon to finish cleaning, because everything will go in here. Yeah, it's not that much salmon. Anyway. And then, I'm trying to think, do I want to get... Yeah, I'm gonna grab my seasonings now as well. Okay, so I have black pepper, onion, Jesus. I have garlic powder, black pepper, some Old Bay, and then I'm trying to decide if I want to use, so I have this brand called Rotten Apple. They make seasonings. They're super, like, when I tell y'all, like, the taste of these, so good, so good. But yeah, they have Dockside Heat and then 5 Borough Blend. I'm not sure which one I want to use. I think I'm gonna use a 5 Borough Blend today. Yeah, so I'm gonna use, this is the brand that I'm using. It's a black owned brand, small business. They sent me these. I had used their samples and I love them, and they sent me the larger size and more seasonings. So I'll be using these a lot in my videos. I definitely, like, this is not like a paid ad, paid promotion, anything. Like 10 out of 10 seasonings. And then off the skin on these. I usually like just throw it in the pan to take it off, but honestly I don't feel like doing all that right now. A little layer. But yeah, for me, the easier way to get the salmon skin off is turn your pan on really high, and then as soon as it gets hot, throw these in skin side down just for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then the skin will come immediately off. So I'm gonna dice this up really finely. To clean my salmon, or like meats in general, I put mine in vinegar and water. I personally recommend using like fresh salmon, either like get it from, what's it called, like the butcher at the grocery store? I don't know. But if you have frozen salmon, then use frozen salmon. Use whatever you got. Like, that misconception of, oh, I need to have exactly what they got in the video, or it's not gonna be that good, or don't use this. Man, use whatever you got. There are some things where I'd be like this would be a lot better, but does that mean that you can't use what you have? No. Like, use whatever you got. And don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. We gotta start off somewhere. So I just want this chopped as much as possible. I'm so glad this food is just for me. Doing this for multiple people. I meal prepped this for somebody before. OMG. Wow. Very time consuming. Took me forever. And then they didn't even like them like that. But they didn't like them like that because they couldn't have, they were on like a no carb diet at the time. And then didn't have like any sauce or whatever. Sure enough, I ate them. Bet you I did. Now I'm putting this in here. And then I'm going to add an egg. I don't know if I actually want to add a whole egg. Yeah, I'm not going to do a whole egg. So I'm going to stir this egg up. And then I'm just going to add some of this egg in here. still was almost add the whole thing. Now I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs. Now for my seasonings. Garlic. This is again Old Bay. Now I don't have like teaspoons and measurements for that. And then now I'm gonna add my 5 borough blend. And he filled these seasonings up to the top. That's what I like too. Like a lot of, they be like down here. I'm talking about it's literally filled to the top where it's like hard for it to even come out. Now you can either use a glove, your hands, bare hands, whatever you're comfortable with doing when it comes to this part. I personally don't want to touch it that much. I'll touch it at the end when it's time to like roll them into patties. But for now, I'm gonna start with the spoon. Yeah, I did a little too much egg, which is okay. Just gonna add a little bit more of the breadcrumbs. I don't want it dry, but I don't want it too wet, you know? But once I let it sit in the fridge, it'll dry it out a little, which I want. So now I'm gonna put these on a plate. Use this scooper. I got this old school scooper from my grandfather's house. I want them to kind of be like slider size instead of actual like regular size patties. So I'm gonna do it like about this much. I'm gonna try to make them as even as possible. I think that first one I might have did a little bigger. Yeah, so this will be 3. And then I don't want my burgers to be like super flat. So I'm gonna kind of leave them this size that they are right now. And then I'll push them down as they're cooking. So yeah, this is what they look like. In the fridge until the bread is done rising. So this has now doubled in size. So I'm gonna cut these up and then get them ready for the oven. All right, we got some parchment paper. Just so that it's not sticky. I'm actually gonna do it right on top of the parchment paper. And then I'm gonna cut these. I did 3 burgers. So I'll probably end up making this into 4. And sometimes if it's sticky, I mean, I just washed it, so it's a little bit wet. I'll just put a little bit of flour right on there, just so it comes apart easier. And now if I was making regular size burgers, I would have made this maybe into 3, but since they're going to be like sliders, it just made sense for me to only do 4. Because once these grow in the oven, they're going to be a lot bigger. I say grow in the oven, rise. Y'all know what I mean. Oh, and FYI, didn't make the movies. It is 6:04 right now. These need a while to rise, so yeah, no movies for me. That's okay. I honestly might just still end up going by myself and going to a theater that's close by. So now, right, what I'm going to do with these is, I'm too busy chatting, about to show you guys. I want to roll it and pinch it and going inwards. And then I'm going to start to kind of like flip the dough and bring it like this. Then I want them to be like in a little ball. I'm going to pick one up just so you guys might have a better POV. I'm like bringing it in as I'm rolling it. I have 2 options. I can just let go, throw them in the oven just like this, or let them rise again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in here. Kind of slide them in. Oops. And I'm not gonna fully, like usually I could wait like, you know, 30 minutes or so. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to let them rise until the oven is preheated. And then once this is ready, I'm gonna put these in the oven. When there's probably like 10 minutes left, and I'll take the salmon burgers out of the fridge and we'll start cooking those. Take this off. And now we are going to, you have some egg wash. Egg wash is basically just eggs and water. So yeah, we're gonna cover them now with some egg wash. Okay, now these are ready to go in the oven. Now we are gonna get started on this salmon burgers. Definitely using the good old cast iron for this. I didn't always have a cast iron skillet, so if you don't have one, it's totally fine. I'm gonna put some olive oil in it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it warm up with the olive oil on there first before I do anything. Olive oil in here. What I like to do when I'm cooking my meats is to throw a little bit of onion in here. It just helps with the flavor. Okay, now also for the buns, I miscalculated the time and the temperature. So we did 385 for, that was, because there was just 3 minutes left. We did 385 for 15 minutes. And since they're almost done, and I actually do want to like browner top on mine, I just put the oven to 400 degrees for 5 minutes. And then I'll probably check it in the next few minutes or so. And some onion, let this cook just for a second to help like wake up the flavor in the pan. Also, these are how the salmon burgers are looking. Cannot wait to have those. So this is what they look like right now. I want them to go back in just for like a few more minutes. So I put them back in, and I'm just gonna leave the oven off. I'm just gonna push these to the side, and now I'm gonna add in my salmon patties. And y'all, putting them in the fridge for a little while, at least an hour, makes such a big difference. They're so much more firmer and hold themselves together compared to if you just cook them soon as you pat them out. And I'm just like lightly, very lightly pressing down on them. Now, if you want yours to be flatter, I suggest making them not literally as flat that you want them when you put them in, before you put them in the fridge, but somewhat flat before, because it's gonna kind of hold its shape. I wanted mine to have like more of like a fatter than flat shape. These look so good. All right, let me give you guys a close-up POV. The lighting is just not the best, but these look so good. I'm gonna take my buns out the oven. And then here these are. And this is what they look like. Super hot. So let's put these on a plate. Ooh, these are hot. It looks so yummy. Yeah, I'm gonna put, I'll just do some butter and then a little bit of see. A little bit of sea salt. Back over because these need to be flipped. Okay, wait a minute. Some jerk barbecue sauce. I don't know. I think we might have to throw a little bit of that on there. That might taste good. Yeah. Okay, so you like jerk sauce, put some jerk sauce on it. If you don't. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on all of them. I'm gonna be the only one eating it anyway. Alright, I'm gonna start putting the jerk sauce on there. Popping everywhere. So I'm gonna turn this off because this is about done. Again, these are fat burgers, so depending on how thick they are is how long you need to cook them for. Here are the burgers, y'all. So you see both sides, they look so good. And I have red onion and tomato. I don't have any lettuce here. I like lots of red onion, personally. All right, and then I'm gonna put some salt and pepper on this. Well, I'll put the pepper at the end. So let me make my plate and then I'm gonna come back. Cut one of our buns. We'll do this one. Yes. I'll see that inside. I could have cooked them maybe like 5 minutes longer, but it's honestly fine for me. I will do some tomato to my burger. Some onion. Love onion. Actually, I have some sriracha aioli, so I'm gonna put a little of this on there too. Put her on there. Whoa, see all the way. Look at that. Wow. This came out better than I thought it was about to come out. I know that's right. So excited. So good, like I don't want to eat it. Yeah, I do. So fat. Mmm. Mmm. There you have it, folks. Ten out of 10. This is another episode of Shack from Scratch. Any commentary you have on this video, constructive criticism, what you want to see more, what you want to see less of. But yeah, I'm about to go finish tearing this up, and then I'm going to probably go catch this movie by myself. Mwah. See you later.